Okay, this would be my second time making a video. When I said I was a old amputee, I meant I'm older. At the end of February, I'll be 62. I'll start from the beginning. I'm not always quite that, what's the word, down. Let's see. February 11th, I broke my ankle in 3 places. They put not a cast, they put a splint on it. That's what you normally do. He said, we're going to send you to St. Cloud. I called St. Cloud the next day. No one answered. So Monday, I called St. Cloud. The doctor up there said, get in here. So I did. They took off the splint and my ankle was to the side, like it was to begin with. I mean, literally, turned to the side. He put it back, turned to the side, put it back, turned to the side. So they took me into surgery. And put these big, long, I don't know what they are. They're metal rods supposed to hold my bones in place. Put it through my upper calf and a lower on my calf, through my ankle, through the bottom of my heel, and through my toe, right below my toes. That was fun. Then, let's see. Came back home a month later. I stayed in the hospital a few days. A month later, I went back and got surgery on my ankle. Screws and plates and stuff. Well, the doctor that I was seeing apparently didn't understand there was particular antibiotics I couldn't take. But I took what he prescribed because it was different from the antibiotics the doctor prescribed, but still. The doctor locally prescribed some. And she said, no, that isn't doing that infection any good. Let's prescribe something else. So she did. And it was fine. Then the doctor in St. Cloud, not the one who operated on me, another doctor, he prescribed something, and apparently it was the same thing. I had no way of knowing. It was a different name. Well, on, Sunday, that was on a Thursday. On Sunday night, my ankle was swollen. A friend of mine took me to the hospital. You should have seen me getting out of the house. That was fun. Took me to the hospital. They x-rayed me. They said it's infected. They gave me some antibiotic. Sent me home. Well, the next day I called the doctor who did the surgery. And I can't help you, okay? I called another doctor, a podiatrist. No, not a podiatrist, a doctor that does surgery on feet and ankles. I went to him. He took an MRI. The MRI said it was completely eaten up by infection. So I had, he said, you're going to have to get it amputated. I went, no. The doctor in St. Cloud said the same thing. I went, no. The doctor here, he comes from Alexandria, Minnesota. But anyway, there's a clinic up there. They're pretty good. So anyway, he sent me to Dr. Silverman, ankle and foot in the cities. That's what you call St. Cloud, Minneapolis. If you live anywhere outside the cities, you call them the cities. So I went to him. He looked at the x-rays. He said it's going to have to come off. I went to 3 different doctors to try to save it. Couldn't save it. It was septic. So they cut it off, or he did, Dr. Silverman, and he fused together the 2 ankle bones at the bottom, and it's not called Ebert. It's called something else. I don't know. But anyway, most of them look like a pencil after a while. Mine looks like a rubber eraser. So unless you want a pencil thin, amputation, I get that. But anyhow, um, it did shrink some. I went to the podiatrist. Podiatrist is the guy that makes the fake foot and fake leg. It goes up on what's left of your leg, so you can walk, sort of. And I said it's too loose down there, and it feels like I'm bottoming out. So he put a couple of pads on the inside. That seems to have done the trick. I feel much better now. My right leg was hurting like I wouldn't believe, and it hurt for weeks. My thigh muscles, a couple of calf muscles, even my foot muscles. I've never felt that much pain. Even though I know I was using mostly my right leg, it's still, wow, did that hurt. Now since the prosthetist, not podiatrist, since the prosthetist has put foam pads in my prosthetic, it lifts me up higher and it fits much better. Only problem being, for a while I had to wait an hour, say, before I could go upstairs and take a bath. Now I have to wait 2 hours after I put it on. It does shrink, but it shrinks more within the prosthetic than outside of it. Even with what they call a shrinker sock, it's nice and it's kind of like a stocking without a foot. It's called a stump sock or a shrinker sock. It puts compression. It's a compression sock. And it helps shape your limb and keep the swelling down. Well, your limb every day goes down, goes up. Sometimes it's smaller, sometimes it's larger. Usually gets smaller during the day when you're wearing your prosthetic. You got to stop and put on a sock. Or it will fart from the top of the liner. It uses something called a liner. It'll fart from the top of the liner. Everybody says, I don't hear it. I said, well, I do every step. Whatever. So, I've worn the one-ply sock. I can't wear any thicker ply socks because it won't go on my leg. The prosthetic will not fit on my leg. Not that I'm complaining about that. I've got a locking liner. So if I got a prosthetic sock stuck down in there, I'm screwed. Oh, you can go to the prosthetist and get it fixed. He comes in 1 day a week. You can wear stuff inside the liner. It's silicone. You can wear stuff inside of it, but it has to be really thin. There's something called a liner. It absorbs sweat. Anyway, on May 6th, thereabout, I got the amputation. I was in the hospital a few days. I was going to go into rehab. Well, my insurance company, may God bless their soul. If you're from down south, you know what bless your soul means. Yes, it is an insult. God bless their soul. I went, right after I broke my foot, I went to a rehab hospital for 4 days. Well, after I got an amputation, they said, no, my insurance, that's it. You've had your rehab for the year. So, I'm not on Medicare yet because I'm only 61. I applied. Well, I can't apply for Medicare yet. Ow. Yes, my leg is still sore, but I'm not screaming in pain. Let's see, what else? Well, right now, I've been trying to walk. The middle of July, I got the trial prosthetic. And then in the middle of September, toward the end of September, I got this prosthetic. Still having trouble with it. Not as much as I was, like I said. I'm not hurting nearly as much. My goodness, I'm thankful for that. Well, that's about it for now. Thank you. Bye.